Hello and welcome. Welcome back to the channel and welcome back to our reading of the Book of Revelations and Self-Empowerment. This is lesson number 6. This particular spread is very, very odd. And so I like to pick my cards early and just sit with them, meditate with them, and then just kind of have an overview of how they mix and blend together, or in this case, they don't blend together. This is a very kind of like a rude awakening or something. This is basically a reading of manipulation and catching somebody upon it. This is a very, very negative energy around you as a whole. And so I'm just going to introduce the cards and then we will carry on from there. So this was initially the first card that came up, and this is card number 19, Spiritual Practice. Okay. And this card represents basically keeping a firm upper lip, a positive over you, but you have somebody who is weighing you down, somebody like it's like that black rainy cloud that consistently follows you around wherever you're going, and they want to dim your light, dim your energy, lower your vibration. This card here, and I want to start with this at the explanation. This is something you need to practice on a daily, maybe even hourly process. So this indicates keeping your spirituality practices up, and this is probably going to have to be done on a daily basis, if not multiple times a day. This is the card of tuning into your intuition, tuning into spirit, tuning into your God or your universe or cosmos, whoever that special power or overseer or higher power is to you. This also is very suggestive of continually purging and cleansing and clearing negative energy, because you have that consistently around you. This will refer to somebody who you are engaged with, involved with, consistently around in your environment. Like it's there and it just doesn't go away. And so this card also says and speaks of burning sage, burning incense, burning palo santo, burning sweetgrass. It's something to burn away that negative energy, get rid of that negative energy, and you want to purify your environment, purify your air, purify your energy zone. That's probably in your house, your home. It's a cleansing and replenishing the positive energy, say, for example, with sweetgrass. So whatever you got going on around here is just it's someone who's got the absolute art of manipulation, a very, very low negative vibration, probably like a narcissistic energy, someone who is super entitled, okay? When these cards come up, like it was absolutely bizarre how they showed up. It's like, it's just a black and white, black versus white, okay? So this is something, whoever this is kind of lays a burden of drama, a burden of negativity, that black rain cloud that just hangs around you. If you have something good, they'll put the light out. If you think of something good, they'll crash that dream. If there's something you want to do, they will hinder that. This person, whoever it is very self-righteous, very, very self-centered, and it's everything for them and not anybody else. That includes you, but whoever else they're engaged with, it would be all about me, catering to me, and your hopes, dreams, desires, thoughts, opinions don't matter. They will discount, they will hinder, they will do whatever it is to break anything that you have positive going in life. So it's kind of that keep you for themselves, you to cater to them. And again, that sense of entitlement, everybody owes me, everybody must obey my command. And if they don't, they will have temper tantrums. They will manipulate you into kind of obeying. And do know the difference between, this is not a relationship. This is like basically torment. Again, know the difference between a healthy relationship, healthy, respectful boundaries. That is certainly not the case with this card draw. And then entitlement, that's a problem. I don't care who it is, male, female, whatever. There's nobody that is entitled in this life, right? So just keep that in mind. Know and have healthy, respectful boundaries. When that line has been crossed, this is going to be somebody who continually keeps on acting this way, and you keep on allowing it. And so just remember, what you allow will continue. And remember, whatever you're tolerating, you're teaching them how to treat you because they're getting away with it. Okay, so just keep that in mind. This is not a good energy reading at all. But this can be, the good part is the enlightenment, right? That self-empowerment. I see clearly now that we need to do something, make some choices, or stop jumping back into the cycle. Okay, so, and something, this would be like obey, demand, command type of relationship. Apply that accordingly. That'll be a slightly different relationship for everybody. So that could be personal, could be romantic. This could be parental, parent-child, or even in the work or career force. Job, the job, career force, or behind closed doors in any way, shape, or form. So know that, demanding, by order, command, those kind of things, and expecting compliance, submission, that is not a relationship. And so I've had this conversation with different people. When you have that going on, that is the equivalent to prison or the jailing system. Okay. That's a one way, and someone is being manipulated and controlled, manipulated to be controlled. Maybe I could put it that way. Okay, so just this is the overall energy of it. It's like that dark rain cloud, that narcissistic, self-centered person who's totally manipulating and has got that heightened sense of ego. They're the shining star. They shine. Everybody should bow down. Everybody should cater to them. And I am entitled energy. So as soon as I say that, you'll know where that fits. Okay, so this is the next card, authenticity. Being true to your own personality, spirit, or character. Be true to you always. So this is someone is limiting you. This is someone who's living, confining your soul purpose, confining your character, telling you how you should be, what you should do, how you should act, how you should respond. This is not okay. This is not okay. Okay? And when you have these kind of dark readings, this is very dark. And there's no doubt about it. There's dark beyond dark. And funny thing, this morning when I got up, I looked out the window and man, it was just a dark, heavy cloud cover. It was so dark, it was dark purple mixed with black. And I looked and there was a couple peeks through where there was a little bit, you could see where the sun was shining through in a couple spots. So that means kind of like a breaking open, an awakening, an eye opener, realizing like that little peak of energy. Well, all of a sudden I can see clearly, oh, I see what's going on. Again, that very, very dark cloud. It's just so ironic that these cards showed up this morning and the clouds definitely match the energy. They were very similar to the cloud cover in here, except they were much, much darker. That dark purple black colored zone with a few peaks of light shining through, like just a couple little pockets, 3 pockets. Okay, so this is identifying, acknowledging, knowing and realizing what's going on here, what has gone on here, and then, okay, we know what's going on, we've acknowledged what's going on, well, now what are we going to do about it? And what we're going to do about it is stop tolerating and putting an end to this negative cycle, because nobody needs this, right? And remember, you are not in charge of anybody else. Someone else is not your responsibility, and I'm talking adult, not children. That is an inside job for each and every one of us to make ourselves better. You cannot do that for somebody else. You cannot fix somebody. You can help somebody help themselves, but you can't do it for them. And so this one here, I can automatically see you're taking on way too much responsibility, way too many obligations, and way too many roles on for this person or whoever you're engaged with here. Okay, this energy doesn't belong to you. Know what your obligations and responsibilities are, and know what doesn't belong to you. And whatever doesn't belong to you, this person's energy, give it back to him, return to sender. Okay, so this here card is the next card that came up, and it's pay attention to your dreams and dream state. Ego is idle and quiet when you're sleeping. It's your unconscious message from your soul. Consider keeping a dream journal. Okay, so this here is messages from the soul. You know what? When this happens, go on. Like if you have a dream or a hope or a desire or an inspired dream or inspired idea or an inspiration, this person automatically throws the hot water on it and kills it. And so when I say an example like that, that would make you feel upset inside, hurt, disappointed, or what this person would be trying to do is beat down your self-confidence, right? And they want you to be needy on them. And when you're needy, you become dependent. When you become dependent, you become easily controlled, right? That's how that works, if you think about it. And they want to lower your self-esteem, right? And they want to take away, basically belittling you into no self-confidence, right? And take away that self-esteem, remove the inner security. And so like you're always kind of walking on eggshells around this person. It's unstable ground, right? And so when I'm talking about these kind of instances or examples, it's like when you get that feeling in the pit of your stomach, you're upset, you're sad, you're disappointed, or it's like, someone who killed your dream and it just makes you feel sad inside. Those instant emotions you get, being upset, sad, disappointed, even scared. Those are your knee-jerk red flag emotions that you should instantaneously be listening to. That's how you know something is wrong. If there was someone who was uplifting and encouraging, that would make you feel happy. Right there, you should know that's a good thing. That's a good person. That's good energy. This is exactly the opposite. This is a toxic relationship, a toxic engagement. Okay. And most of the time, I usually take one of these cards out of each deck, but they came out in doubles. They came out in pairs. When I went from this deck, 2 fell out. When I went from this deck, 2 fell out. When I went from this deck, 2 fell out. 2 fell out from this deck. And so that's telling me something, right? So this is something, speak your truth. And this is something you've been hindered from or not allowed to do or have been held back to. So speak your truth. You've stayed silent long enough. Speak up, stand your ground, and state your perspectives. You will rise to a higher vibration when you let your voice be heard. This is something that's been restricted from you. Somebody is controlling your thoughts, your thinking, your speaking, your speech patterns, what you can say, what you can't say. And this person would also have that thing, you should agree with me 100% of the time, and don't ask questions. Okay, well, that's not reality. That doesn't work like that. This person is, I would say, probably a menace to themselves, very toxic to themselves. Chances are, if you stepped back out of this situation and took an emotional step back into like a larger perspective, set your emotions aside, you would probably look at this person, and this person would probably not have many friends, true friends, and would basically isolating themselves from family, friends, and probably society. They will cling to one person as long as they control. And chances are, if this person's moving from person to person, this person probably can't have more than one friend at a time. And so when they kind of break that relationship or that friendship, they'll move on to the next person, and then they create a lot of trouble. And when that's done, they'll move on to the next person. Okay, so if you look at, they will tend to be isolating themselves in some way, shape, or fashion in society or family or friends. So that's another kind of red flag that will stand out with this person. Okay, boundless possibilities. You're standing at the edge of limitless potential. Don't limit your dreams based on past experience. Embrace boundless possibilities that await you. Okay, again, this is someone else who likes to kill your dreams, your thoughts, your inspirations, anything to do with something positive that you could maybe branch out on your own. This person won't like that. This person wants you for themselves. They want you to cater to them. They want to control you, again, and they want to create a neediness. They want to create being dependent on them. And again, when you're needy and you're dependent and you get bound to this person, that arms them with absolute 100% control of your life. And this is kind of the lesson that needs to be learned here is know the difference between a relationship and being controlled. Know the difference between a healthy relationship and being completely toxic. Being controlled and manipulated or being supported. There is no bigger black and white difference in this reading than what's going on here. What's going on here is not a good thing. Okay, and this here, speak your truth, and this is looking directly at this. This is a Lenormand deck, but this is the bouquet of tulips, right? And so, we have a staple here. And the staple I didn't think was here, but obviously it is. So this is someone, shouldn't be on my table, but it is. So this staple is giving indication you're very stuck to this person, stuck with this person, or they actually have their tentacles and stuck into you, okay? So when I see that staple, that shouldn't have been here, and it's showing up. Okay, so this is a card of upright. When you speak your truth, you're going to get gifts and rewards. Karmic rewards are going to come in, but you must speak your truth. That's when things are going to get better. This is also a letter or news or information coming in, because you can see the little letter attached there. And so this is something often on the upright. This is really, really a nice engagement, a nice message, or nice gifts. Again, rewards, somebody telling you something, somebody bringing you something. It's a very, very positive card, but this is only going to come when you speak your truth. And it's kind of boxed in right to the right side of it, this card. And that is someone who is kind of just basically got their tentacles sunk into you and sucking you and draining you dry. A draining energy, a depleting energy. This is the Beelzebub card, and it's the equivalent to the Moon card. So you got things going on in the background that you're just not seeing. So that can be in real-time 3D, like situations going on in the background that this person's not telling you. But this is also the art of manipulation. taking advantage of. And this is going on, but you're not seeing it. When you have the moon, it means things are not clear. They're unclear. There's things going on in the background that you can't see, or you've just not realized the toxic energy and the controlling energy that's going on in this relationship. They will convince you that this is a very, very normal thing going on between two people, or a friendship, or whatever it is, but it's exactly the opposite. It's a con job, a con artist, someone who's very, very self-centered, self-oriented, somebody who needs to be the center of attention at all times, and they depend on you for doing that or giving them that. And accepting responsibility and accountability for any actions done, they will not do. That's not going to change. Again, everybody has the right, and everybody can change if they want to, but that's an inside job. This person must do that inner shadow work on them. You can't fix it for them. It's not your responsibility. And, something that comes to mind is they need you to make a better person. No, they don't. That's their job, not yours. They're not a child. You're not their mother. You're not their keeper. That is an inside job. Okay, and again, when we see this, you're going to, this is kind of working on a completion of some sort, or working on, you might be getting the light of day, and maybe when you hear this reading, it might, the warning bells and the red lights and the red flags will be going off. But again, speaking your truth is finally going to bring good things, and probably telling this person to sit down and listen, or again, this is going to be a multiple cycle toxic bad energy that just continues over and over and over. The only thing that changes in this cycle is the topic or the subject line or the storyline. It's the same thing over and over. It's just a different story, chapter 1 through 3000. Okay, and again, when we have this Beelzebub card, it's the moon card, and these are all demon cards in this deck. And I actually thought of this morning. I thought I'm going to bring this deck out because this is probably fairly accurate for the types of readings that this particular reading, the Book of Revelations and Self-Empowerment, kind of represents. And as much as we like to think life is perfect, it's not. We all have these dark shadow spots or these dark shadow energies we're dealing with, and this is the perfect deck for this reading. So again, the Beelzebub card, it's the moon card, and the saying on this card, make manifest the apparitions of demons, set the demon upon men to destroy them with their vices. And so when we have this card, and I see all these tentacles and these legs on this fly or this bug, and it's like they have every avenue, every arm and every leg, every tentacle stuck into you, sucking you dry, draining you dry energetically. These are people who expect others to be people pleasing to them, and they're energy vampires. And again, things are just not how they appear. This person will be appear to be the nicest person in the public, but when they're exactly the opposite behind closed doors. They portray one face, wear a mask, but they're exactly the opposite. When you turn the blind eye, the right hand's not seeing what the left hand's doing. And they like to pull a fast one, right? And this particular card is a par. This is the Lovers in the traditional deck, and this is causes women to love men and bring them together in love, can make women barren. Okay, so typically in the traditional, this is about choices and choices amongst people. This, to me, when you look at this particular combination of cards, this is two people involved, a man and a woman, and it's based upon false regards, false information, being conned into something that, again, they got their tentacles into you, and you're being manipulated. And this would be someone, even if you called them on it, they would call them on a situation or something they said. The gaslighting is there. They would try to convince you that, no, that's not the case. You didn't hear that right. And no, they didn't say that, or whatever so-and-so said about them uptown. That's not true. It's always somebody else's fault, right? And again, as soon as I talk like this or say this energy of this reading, you'll know where this belongs. And again, the comment or the statement can make women barren. This is somebody who is trying to keep that slate clean in your life to cater to them. That's just to repeat it over and over and over in this reading. It's like your life is surrounded upon them. They are the star of the show, and you must radiate around them. You must comply. You must build their ego. You must build their esteem. And that is so energy draining, and this needs to come to an end. It's something that they have their tentacles in you left, right, and center, and this can also be controlling. So if this happens to be a romantic personal relationship, this can be somebody who is obsessive, can be very, very possessive. They could be so controlling that they could be keeping tabs on your every whereabouts, where you're going, what you're doing, who you're with, the time gaps, even watching kilometers on your vehicles to see where you're going and who you are. This person is got absolutely no self-esteem, no confidence, and they are very, very, very insecure in life. However, they will portray the opposite in the public eye. So this particular reading is somewhat concerning because of all the negative energy floating around. Like, it's dark, very, very dark. And so this is someone who wants to keep you under complete control and make sure that your hopes and dreams are crushed and the aspirations are not there. They want to kill that spirituality because, again, it's all about control and power. And again, this is the sun, but it came up in reverse. Normally it would be this way. But as soon as you put an end to this cycle, it will flip this way. But this is success, it's victory, it's happiness, it's finally shining bright. But you're stuck in some place where it's being controlled or inhibited. It's being limited. It has restrictions on it. Being controlled by somebody else. It's stopping your success in life because of this person. And again, you do have boundless possibilities, but someone's putting an end to that. Someone's smashing out that light of possibility, that those energies of visionary energy, being enthusiastic, being happy, wanting to start new projects, or maybe, working for yourself or getting a new job, or maybe you're not allowed to have a job. That could be one of these control tactics by this person. As long as you're isolated, they will have full control. As long as you're dependent, they will have full control. As long as you don't talk to somebody else, they will have full control. This is a very, very dark reading, but so it's not good, it's bad, it's very dark, but the bright side is acknowledgement and being aware of what's going on. And when you can acknowledge a problem, acknowledge something that needs some work or some change, that's when you can begin to become self-empowered. You can begin to heal and put an end to the cycle. This has been going on. So I want to say this particular cycle has been going on probably anywhere from 9 months to probably 9 years in excess. This could be, we're talking 30, 31 years. That's around that time zone. So it can be anywhere from 9 months to 31 years. And 9 years is going to be significant for somebody out there. I just need a drink. Just hang on. Yeah, this is quite a reading. This is, and this someone who wants to break your confidence, right? Take your confidence away that way. Again, it's about control and catering to this person. And so very, very draining, very depleting. They would expect you not to have a life just to suit them and to cater to them and be 100% basically a tool, a convenience. And just, at an arm's length for them, you would have no identity compared to this person. And that's how they would like it. You would be nameless, faceless, and that's how they would like it. And so, again, what we want to do is we want to get rid of these demon energies, these negative energies, this dark cloud, and we want to flip this sun card upright. And as soon as we flip that upright, you speak your truth, you acknowledge, you become aware of what's going on, you put a closure to this, you speak your truth like this is enough. We need to do something about this. And then at that point, listening to your intuition and definitely keeping a high spiritual practice involved, and definitely burning sage and Palo Santo and sweetgrass, those kind of things, you will end up with really, really good news, gifts, rewards, karmic rewards, manifesting 100% successful things in life, being happy again, happiness restored, and you're going to end up with boundless possibilities. So as dark as this reading is, it's dark, but as soon as you do something about it, it completely changes right around to something good. And I just want to mention that when you're involved with people like this, you're not helping them. We all have our own life path. We all have our own life journey, and we all have certain lessons we need to conquer, deal with in this lifetime. And you're not helping this person. This person will stay stuck in this mentality, this low vibration, their whole entire life if they're never made to adhere and look at, study, and resolve and work with their shadow side or the dark side of themselves. All it does is extend it when you're catering to somebody like this. So as much as you think you're helping them, as much as they try to convey or or talk you into telling you that you're the one who helps them and gets them through. No, you're not. You're not helping them at all. All you're doing is extending the bad behavior. All you're doing is feeding the process. And know the difference between helping a problem and enabling a problem to continue. Right? This here, in the dark shadow side, you're just enabling this problem or the situation to carry on, and it will get worse and worse because as time goes on with this person, they will become confident in their negative bad behavior, controlling, and it will just spiral completely out of control. And again, it's a dark spot, it's a shadow spot that this person has, they need to work on, they need to resolve, they need to repair. Remember, you are not responsible for somebody else's happiness in this world or being a good person. That's an inside job for all of us. That's all our own responsibilities. And remember, you're not this person's mother. You're not this person's keeper. You're not responsible for this person's obligations or how they live or to fix them. We all have to do that on our own. And so if you put it that way, in the fact or in the eyes that you're not helping this person in life, it kind of spins a completely different twist, like a 180-degree purview or view of this whole situation. Again, being authentic to you, and you need to start speaking up, speaking your truth. And when you do, things will get better. Things will completely turn around. And chances are you're going to have somebody in your realm that's going to either know this, have seen this, maybe has mentioned this, or it might be somebody in your realm that might put this person in this place, or have your back and help you put this person in their place and get out of this cycle. This is very, very drying, and so I'm having to have a drink here all the time. And so when I'm kind of dry, this means this is very, very energy draining for you. You could never do enough. You could never cater enough to them. And if too much is never enough, and it would never be good enough, is something else. So very, very draining, very, very drying to the soul, very, very drying to the person, okay? They dry you out. They're energy vampires every way, shape, and form, okay? So I'm going to grab this deck, and we are going to do a slightly different version. We are going to, we're going to get a 3-card spread, and this is going to be our advice from Tarot. Okay, so when we see this, this is strictly about finding fairness, justice, justice, and balance. We got the Justice card, card of Libra. We have the Chariot card of Cancer. It's not zodiac specific, and we have the 6 of Coins. So when we see this card, we know that your advice from Tarot is seeking balance and moving forward. It's just that simple. Finding fairness, finding justice, finding balance. This can involve separation, divorce, bringing a very, very, very dark negative cycle to an end. And that can be within the law or legal court system. Separation, divorce agreements, those kind of things. You're just getting out of it, calling it done, and moving forward. Having acknowledgement. And again, this here, when you see this, this is a woman, if you look at her, she's actually got her eyes covered. So this means this has been going on. You might not have seen this for quite some time, or maybe even years. And now you finally, the light bulb goes off, and we need to do something about this. Finding fairness, justice, balance, harmony, being cooperative, and that's with this self, because you're never going to please this person anyway. It's their way or no way. So let them have their way, but you can do it on your own time. As my dad always used to say, if you want to be miserable, you would do it on your own time. And so that is actually a good piece of advice. And so when you make this decision and you're willing to acknowledge and find peace, harmony, balance, justice, fairness, taking off that cover off the eyes, seeing things clearly, and then doing something about it, making decisions. This is just as making major decisions in life. Then you will be moving forward. But it's going to be a journey, and you're going to have to make more than one decision. But when you have the Chariot card show up, it means you're going to be moving forward successfully, and you will be finding balance. And again, when we have the 6 of Coins show up, this tells you that there was never any equality. There was never equal give and take. It was always very, very one-sided. If you see these scales, are always lopsided. And when you see Pentacles, this would have been somebody who probably would have been controlling you with money, or funds, or controlling your money, or controlling your funds or material goods, okay? And again, so you'll be finding balance in there as well. But we have 2 scales on either side of this. That's quite something. And this has been very, very unbalanced for a very, very long time. So we're finding balance and we're getting out of this. And this is making decisions, right? And this can be legal contracts and the breaking of legal contracts. Like, for example, a separation divorce agreement. That's breaking a marriage contract, bringing it to a conclusion. It's a dissolution or dissolving a relationship, moving forward. All right, that will conclude this reading. And so this is a very, very, very big, great eye-opener. This is coming from a very grave situation, a very grave engagement or relationship. Something that's gone on a very, very long time. And over time, you don't see these things that they creep on a little bit at a time till it's full-blown catastrophic disaster, chaos, toxicity, full control, okay? And again, the staple showed up. So this is somebody who basically has you stapled to their cuff at all times. A very demonic or very negative energy, right? Very toxic. When I see this tells me this has got to do with a very personal or romantic relationship. Someone who likes to have their claws in you or their tentacles in you at all times, 24/7. Okay, so that will wrap up our reading of the Book of Revelations and Self-Empowerment. And this is lesson number 6. This is definitely a wake-up call. The eye-opener, right? The Great Awakener. We got stuff going on here. There's going to be a lot of movement. So until we talk again, stay happy, stay healthy, take care of yourself, and take care of each other. Bye for now. And so I just want to extend this a little bit with my YouTube channel. So I have a YouTube channel, Midnight Bisous Tarot. Bisous is Bisous. And Seventh Heaven Junk Drawer. Soup to Nuts Astrology and Health and Anatomy. Those are all 3 different YouTube channels, relatively new. I have 2 Facebook groups, Midnight Bisous Tarot and Oracle. And the other Facebook group, Midnight Bisous C'est La Vie Astrology. Jump into its rhythm. I'm an astrologer by job and career. And I have an Etsy shop, Midnight Bisous Tarot and Oracle. And there's Oracle cards in there. And I do sell the Jenny Florence Oracle cards as well from the UK. A wonderful lady, a wonderful writer-publisher. And I do have an eBay store, Midnight Bisous Tarot, Oracle, and Astrology. So visit me, check me out. And remember to subscribe. It doesn't cost nothing. Click like and click the bell icon. So until we talk again, take care of yourself. Bye for now.